Check. Check, check.
Nope. Check, check.
Check, check.
Check, check.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's broadcast of Pointer Media. It's the Van Buren Pointers' final home season game, or regular season game, against the Shiloh Christian Saints. Tim, there's a lot on the line tonight, as usual. My broadcast partner is Tim Malone. Thanks to Lindsey Cottrell, Stephen Copeland outside on the camera, Austin Myers for spotting. A lot on the line for the top four teams in the 6A West tonight, Tim. There's a lot of different ways this can play out. What are we expecting here in Shiloh?
Well, Shiloh is part of the gauntlet that we talked about with Coach Henry. Coach Henry, he put it really well in our meeting this last Tuesday, and just talking to him, we asked him, what do you talk to the players about? How do you talk to them? You have the game against Greenwood, then we had the game against Mountain Home. How do you keep them from getting down? How do you, get them back up from where we came from 4-0? And he said, the bottom line is, I don't care who in Arkansas is playing this three-game gauntlet. There's hardly anybody, if anybody, that can come through that unscathed. And I thought it was a great point, and I told him it was one I thought we needed to bring out and understand that in this conference, those three top teams, and then you can put Van Buren now in the top four, I think, for sure. And you have to look at it from the standpoint of the quality of competition, and it's high.
Yeah. Well, Van Buren is officially in the top four. There's no way that we don't finish fourth. The Pointers could finish as high as third in the conference, depending on how things play out tonight here and in Mountain Home as they host Greenwood. We'll get more into what could happen with the playoff scenarios in a little while. For now, let's start talking about this particular football game. And generally, when we talk about important parts of the game, we don't start with special teams. But you and I noticed something this week watching film.
Yeah.
When Van Buren kicks the ball off tonight, something's got to happen.
Yeah. Their return teams, both punt and kickoff, they perform at a high level. They have skilled position players deep that can do something with the football, and they block it well. And so that's something that we're going to have to pay attention to, staying in your lanes, being in the position that you need to be in. Stay disciplined is what the coaches like to call it. Just stay disciplined, stay where you got to be, and then just get your job done. Now, also, their rush, they bring it on the punt. Sometimes they'll bring 10, they'll put one back, and they have no hesitation bringing 10 on a rush. And watching the film this week, you watched them against Southside. I watched them against Lake Hamilton and a little bit against Siloam Springs. And so they bring it. It's something that we're going to have to block well. And then Manning Dotson from a punting standpoint, and then if him and Mr. Kelly, if they are out there kicking the football from a place kicking standpoint, they're going to have to pay attention to that. They're going to have to get it off, and there's not going to be any dilly-dally because they're going to come get you.
Yeah. Derek Kelly has been outstanding with touchbacks this year, and he's not had a game in which it's more important than tonight. Shiloh does a great job of setting off their kick returns. And number 3 is a name you're going to hear us say a lot tonight. Zane Slider is back there ready to field it. He took one to the house from 90 yards in their win against Bethany. He went for a 70-yarder against Southside. He's hard to handle, and they set it up beautifully. So Derek Kelly's going to play a big part in how this thing goes tonight. Let's talk about what people aren't going to see a lot of, and that is what this Shiloh defense, they seem to do everything. Yeah. Sometimes they look like a normal defense, and then sometimes they look like they're from outer space.
Yeah, you're going to see all kinds of different stuff from this defense. It's what we've nicknamed chaos, because it looks like chaos out there. It looks like, well, what are they even doing? And I've seen some of it over the last several years, but they probably do it as well as anybody I've seen. And they even start it at the younger levels, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. They'll even bring that defense in. And what it is it'll look like they have no down linemen. They'll line up 2 to 4 yards off the line, and they will jump, they will pounce, they will act like they're going to come. It's all kinds of different stuff. The linemen are going to have to be very disciplined and pay attention to their snap count and the ball, because it can induce them to false starts. So you have to be careful, because they're going to be and then you have to stay in your area. You have to know where you're going to block and not get pulled into a zone that they pull you into because of the way they try to pressure it. And it's something you'll see them. Sometimes they'll have 2 down linemen, and it looks like they got a 2-man front, and then all of a sudden they're bringing 5. So from that standpoint, it can be confusing, and it's going to be something that a lot of our viewers, a lot of people that have been watching high school football, you don't see that a lot.
Yeah, and the trouble that brings is you really can't simulate that in practice either. Coach even mentioned that. You can kind of simulate the look, but you can't simulate the effectiveness with which they do it. There'll be times that they'll get up and get down and get in their stance, and then all of a sudden they all just get up and they back out, and then they'll get back down and get up. It's very confusing. And as we said, offensive linemen, when they're doing their drills, are practicing getting up, getting their hands into the guy right across from them. Well, sometimes he's not going to be right across from them. They're going to have to find him.
Yeah. So. And when you're sending 5 defenders and you're bringing them and they have a 4-yard head start, full speed coming at you, I mean, that presents its own problem. Yeah. And I will say this about this team specifically is they're box defenders, and that means the defenders from end to end, and then the linebackers that are within that about 5 to 7 yard depth from the line of scrimmage. I think they might be the best we've seen this year. I'd say that I think they're better than Greenwood even.
They're right up there for sure. You think about our left tackle, Jensen Hill, and our right tackle, A.J. Thompson. They've got their hands full. We watch the defensive ends for these Saints absolutely eat up every team that we watch. We also watch the tape of Mountain Home. So you and I have seen 4 games of these guys, and they're no joke on either side of the ball. They're the 3rd best scoring defense in the conference. But where they're really known, and the really strong thing that Shiloh Christian does, is they score the ball. They average 50.6 points per game so far this year, best in the conference by several points. They bring in a quarterback who's a junior that started as a freshman. He has broken his collarbone 3 times, and he's been out with injuries, but he's already over 5,000 yards in his career. He's 106 yards from 3,000 this year. What do you think about Cole Creighton? You watched him.
Yeah. He's impressive. I mean, he really is. He can put the ball where he wants to. He hits his receivers in stride. I don't see a ton of where I didn't see him miss a lot of throws against Lake Hamilton or against Siloam that I watched. He has good poise in the pocket, and when he has to, he can run the ball.
Yeah, throws a beautiful deep ball.
And our linebackers are, our linebackers have been the strength of this defense for a good portion, and that's not taken away from the line because they've done their job. That's what helps make linebackers successful is the line taking care of the blockers up front. And so they've got their work cut out for them tonight in being able to shut down 2 sophomore running backs, but then also Creighton who can throw the football. And if he needs to run it, he can do that as well.
Yeah, the secondary tonight has their hands full as well. Shiloh has 3 elite wide receivers. Now, we're going to talk a lot about Zane Slider, number 3. He leads the state in receiving yards now. He's over 1,000. him and Austin Riggs were neck and neck prior to this 2-game stretch, but Zane has separated. The trouble is you can't just stop him because they also have Chandler Kemp, who's going to wear number 11, and Cohen Beach, who's going to wear number 2.
Yeah.
And they're just as lethal as he is.
Yeah.
So as a defense, you kind of got to pick your poison. I believe we're doing the pledge, so we'll take a break. We'll go to the pledge. We'll come back.
One nation, under God, visible, with liberty and justice for all. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Shiloh Christian Band will now perform the national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and the
Shiloh Christian Band with the national anthem tonight. Sorry, we missed part of the pledge. We didn't hear it from where we were. Going back to the run game for Shiloh, we watched a couple games where they were actually missing their number 1 running back, who's a senior, Griffin Mason, and they brought in Max Eldridge, a sophomore, number 0, and sophomore, number 22, Charlie Kroll. And if I didn't know, I would have said those are starting tailbacks.
Right.
They were,
Yep.
I mean, they look like starters.
Yeah. And they came in because of injury. So
they're fully healthy now. They're getting a
Yes.
new offensive lineman back tonight that they've been out all year. But Shiloh's really good. But let's talk about Van Buren. When we talk about our offense, it's hit a little bit of a lull the last couple of weeks, but Mountain Home and Greenwood did that to a lot of teams.
sure.
When we think about Hayden Williford, Christenberry, Riggs, and Wilford, what's got to happen tonight for this team to put points on the board against this defense?
Well, I think first off, they got to get their confidence back because I think it's taken a hit the last couple of weeks. And, just because we're a juggernaut those first 4 games. Going against Russellville, going against Siloam, going against Lake Hamilton, going against Southside. I mean, you can just run those down. Great offensive output, really good job by this offense, and as we say in the South, they were ginning, and that kind of came to a halt a little bit, and it was just because of some good defenses and some good game planning. I think tonight they need to get their feet under them. They need to get I think we need a quick start. We need something going both with Christenberry, with Riggs, with Wilford, and I think talking about the defense on the other side of the football, they don't mind bringing pressure, and it goes back to Hayden Wilford is going to have to get rid of the ball tonight. He is not going to have 3 and 4 seconds. When we were 8 years old playing in the backyard and there were 6 of us playing, nobody was blocking, but you had to count Mississippi's before you could rush the quarterback. Well, he's going to have 2 Mississippi's, and that's what he's going to get tonight. And he's got to get rid of the football, or he's going to have to take off with it, and he's going to have to try to find some running lanes. But I know the coaches would much prefer him to find the receivers, find the outlets that he needs. But tonight is not the night that he's going to get 3 to 4 seconds. They're coming, and they don't mind coming. And, again, we go back to that chaos defense. It's hard to read, so there's going to be some zones and some spots in there that he can find. He's going to have to find them quick, and he's going to have to get rid of the football.
And I don't want to steal any thunder from a couple moments from now when we talk about your keys to the game for Van Buren, but we did discuss that Williford's probably going to have to get to a certain number rushing the ball tonight for the team to have success moving the ball down the field.
I think
and they're going to have to figure out a way to get it back into Austin Riggs' hand, which the last 2 teams have done a masterful job of keeping that from happening. So we go to our defense. What's our defense going to have to do to keep Cole Creighton in check and this running back and this wide receiver core? Is this a pick your poison type of night?
Yeah, I think
Can
so.
you do that against Shiloh? I mean, it seems like they do both things well enough that.
I mean, they can. I mean, I think that's one of those things where you have to try to limit them. I think they can stretch the field. So I think your defense is going to have – you're going to give up some plays, but what you try to do is you try to make sure that's in between the 20s. You shorten the field once we get in – once they get inside the red zone and they shorten the field like that, then what you've got to do is you've got to be able to now squash that down and play defense. So bend, don't break. I know you hear that when you watch college and pro football, bend but don't break. And I think that's the best scenario tonight. And then just play disciplined football. Be where you're supposed to be at the time that you're supposed to be there, and then just let everything else take care of itself.
Yeah. I was talking to the broadcast team from Shiloh about an hour ago. They said the one hole that they've seen on the defensive side for Shiloh is that a few teams have had the ability to run the ball up the gut. So Hayden Christenberry, if that's true, Hayden Christenberry could be for a breakout performance tonight. Hopefully so. We'll see.
And just to interject there, if I saw a weakness, and we'll put that in quotations, but I think between the tackles, being able to open some holes in there, if they have a little bit of a vulnerability, it would be to be able to run the ball up the middle of the field and get some yardage right there, and then soften up that middle of that line, getting Christenberry going, and then open up some passing lanes.
Generally, warm-ups are not exciting to watch, but if you're tuned in and you've got the kick that's going on, high schooler Derek Kelly is casually making a 60-yard field goal in pregame.
Yeah,
that's incredible. You just don't see that.
Honestly, I hope he gets a chance to kick one. The high school record's 55. He attempted a 57-yard field goal. Who was that against, Jay? I can't remember. I know it was 57. Was it
Southside, wasn't it?
Was it Southside?
I think it was. It was a home game.
Yeah, it was Southside. So he tried the 57. I mean, just missed it.
Yeah.
I think it would have been good from 56.
That 60-yarder he just hit, he had 5 yards on.
Yeah.
Kind of like the young man, Cam Little, had 4 more yards on his 72-yarder this weekend.
I mean, I'd much prefer score touchdowns, but, hey, if he's got a chance and, we get inside the 50 and he's got a chance, hey, why not?
The thing I've noticed on film before I hand this over to you for some of the keys for Van Buren, some of the keys for Shiloh, is that Shiloh has seemed to have timely turnovers this year. You and I both watched their Mountain Home game, and that was a blow for blow. That was a battle. The final score was 14 points, but that game, that was just kind of two late scores.
Yeah.
They were punch for punch, and there were 2 very timely turnovers that went Shiloh's way. Go back to the Southside game. Southside was hanging with them, and Shiloh forced 2 very timely turnovers in that game, so we got to watch out for that.
Yes.
The thing that Shiloh has shown this year is that they do have the ability to inflict a lot of damage on themselves with penalties. Going back to the Southside game, they had Southside, 2 of the touchdowns they scored were because Shiloh kind of lost their cool and gave up several big penalties that kept alive drives for Southside. So you hope maybe that'll go tonight, but we'll see. For the Pointers, as we get to 8 minutes from kick time, what do you see, a couple, 2, 3 things for Van Buren to pull out a victory tonight?
I think first and foremost, they got to play mistake-free football. It really has to be a night where the ball's not put on the ground or it's thrown into the other team's hands. And then just no penalties. You're going to get some penalties, but no penalties that just set you back and that create opportunities for the other team. You've got to stay out of that. That's number 1. Number 2, the offense has got to get untracked. They've got to find a way to get the ball down the field and into their playmakers' hands. Obviously, I think they'll do what they've done in the past several games, is you do have to try to establish the run, because as much as you look at that and you get frustrated that there's only a yard or 2 yards or there's a yard loss, you can't not run the football. You have to run the football because you have to soften it up. You have to be able to do that so that you can pass the football. So one creates the other.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing is, I'm going to just go back to the defense, bend but don't break. They're going to make some plays. Don't get discouraged. They're going to make some plays. Make sure those big plays are between the 20s. Don't let them run a 90-yard kickoff back. Do your job on special teams, and then give yourself the best opportunity to win this football game.
And if you were broadcasting on the other side, you're saying Shiloh, couple things that Shiloh's got to do to pull this off tonight. What are they looking to expose or do?
Well, I think on defense, their big thing is pressure the quarterback. And that's what they do, and they do it pretty effectively. And I think they're going to continue with that. So they're going to want to continue to pressure the football and try to get to the quarterback and force them into mistakes. On the offensive side of the ball, they like to run a lot of bubble screens. But I'll tell you, in watching this team, they will take what you give them. They don't try to force this or that, like they're just a run team or they're just a pass team. What they try to do is they say, this is what they're giving us, this is what we're going to take, and then they'll try to beat you that way.
Yep. We're going to send you to a couple messages before we go to kickoff. The University of Arkansas Fort Smith being one of them. We do want to thank them for being our sponsors all year long, making this broadcast possible. And here's a message from the University of Arkansas Fort Smith.
In Van Buren, camp isn't just a trip, it's a milestone. For our fifth graders, it's a chance to grow, connect, and create memories that last a lifetime. It's where lessons stretch beyond the classroom, where kids discover courage, teamwork, and the excitement of new challenges. For over 20 years, camp has been a cornerstone experience for our students, made possible by the pride and support of Van Buren. When you give, you're not just helping send a child to camp. You are investing in the heart of Van Buren. You are ensuring every student carries home memories, lessons, and friendships that last a lifetime. This is what makes Van Buren special. Let's continue the legacy together. Tucked away in the Arkansas River Valley is a place where excellence isn't just a goal, it's a tradition. From the stage to the field, from the classroom to the community, Van Buren School District has set the standard for over 100 years. And for 2 consecutive years, we've been honored as best of the best in the River Valley. But here, being a pointer means more than just attending school. It's embracing a tradition of learning, striving for greatness, and joining a legacy that drives success. Discover what makes the Pointer family truly the best of the best.
All right, we're back. Shiloh Christian puts on quite a light show for the introduction. We haven't seen them come out. About 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go before kickoff. We'll try to help you understand the potential playoff scenarios while we wait on this game to kick off. In the 6A West, if Greenwood wins, they win the conference. If Mountain Home wins and Van Buren wins, all chaos ensues.
Right.
So Shiloh Christian can be a 1 seed, a 2 seed, or a 4 seed, depending on how everything plays out tonight. Again, as we said earlier, Van Buren cannot be any worse than the 4 seed. We will host a playoff game next weekend. A lot of people ask, okay, who? Well, they're going to be from the East. Most likely, it's going to be Jonesboro or Marion, and in the 6A East, it's just as chaotic as it is in the 6A West, and it's just as top-heavy as it is in the 6A West. There's 4-5 teams at the top, and there may be a little more because their 5th team is in play for anywhere from a 2nd through a 5th seed.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts. We don't know who we're going to play next week, but I'll tell you this, we'll be at Blakemore Field.
We will be at Blakemore Field, and it's, as we talked about coming up tonight, it's more than likely, and you can't take this to the bank, but it's either going to be Marion or Jonesboro look like the likely opponents. But again, depending on how things happen, that can change.
Good crowd tonight. So Shiloh Christian was supposed to have homecoming 2 weeks ago. The weather did not allow for that. So tonight is not only senior night here at Shiloh, it's also homecoming. So the crowd is very excited tonight. They did the homecoming activities before the kickoff, and they'll do the senior night activities at halftime. So anticipate an extended halftime tonight. Can't promise you that, but I don't see any way they'll pull that off in a normal amount of time. So Van Buren sends out the kick return team. It's the usual. Blaine Pruitt. Actually, Blaine Pruitt's up a little. They're going to put Talon Jones and Teray Wilford back. And Pruitt's up at the 20, so changing the kickoff return just a touch. For Shiloh, the kicker is number 34, Aiden Eastwood. They're in their home navy. Real sharp uniforms, home navies with the white lettering, Van Buren with the white tops, green pants, and green numbers. And we're about ready. This has been a special football season.
Yes,
you end on the road with a great football team and a chance to make a statement, and I don't think you could ask for anything more if you're a Pointer.
No, it's been a great season. I know there's a lot more to go, but honestly, looking back on this season and making programs different and change is about taking steps. And I think if any Pointer fan, if you look at it over the last several years, this team, this program has taken steps this year.
All right, we are underway. It'll be Talon Jones taking it over the right side. He gets up over the 20 and not much further. Hey, he's driving the pile. Really tough running by Talon Jones. He took what should have been a 21-yard and made it up to the 26. Good job.
Yeah, it was a great push. He got some help from his friends down there in white jerseys, and they got a nice push all the way up to the 27-yard line.
Short of him a yard, 27-yard line. So Hayden Williford brings the offense out. Hayden Williford has thrown for 1,957 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 picks so far this year. Hayden Christenberry's with him, having run for 1,099 yards. Austin Riggs is in the bunch over to the left. Thomas Cole's back in the lineup. They'll hand off to Christenberry right off the bat. He's met by Brody Francis for a loss.
He came shooting from that side, from that right side, came straight across the edge, and he was close to being there right at the handoff.
We got to the 24. Williford gives a hard count, looks to the sideline. So 3-yard loss on the first play, 2nd and 13. Williford looks left, throws quick. Nobody was there, but it's good to see that quick release.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before the game, Jay, was that quick release. He's got to come out. He's got to make a decision quick. He doesn't have a whole lot of time. You can see how quick those linemen and those linebackers, if they decide to come, you can see how quick they get in.
Trips to the left and a tight end. Right side's empty for the Pointers. 3rd and 13, 11:15 to play in the first quarter. Shiloh has a lot of strength to their right, and they're coming after him. Get rid of it. He does. He gets it up to Christenberry. Well defended by Shiloh Christian. The Pointers will have to punt. They'll mark him down at about the 21 or 22.
Tough first possession, trying to get something going with the run, but it was nice to see that Hayden was able to get back. He was trying to set up that quick pass, and he got it out. Not a lot of yardage there, but coaches will take a look at what happened over that first set of downs, make some adjustments, and then see where we go from here.
Manning Dotson has his feet at the 7, and we talked about how important his punting is. In these close games, he's great at flipping the field, and just as you predicted pregame, Shiloh brought the heat and almost got to that one.
And they almost got the punter. I tell you, it was really close. I'm sure because of the way they bring that pressure, they probably talk about watching how they come in and the angles that they take on that punter to try to keep from roughing the punter or even running into the punter. And so that's something they were fortunate they avoided Manning Dotson that time.
Well, for Van Buren, the leaders all season been Darren Mays, Brady Perkins, Jace Ponder, and Antoine Cooper. They're going to have big nights tonight, and secondary is really going to have to shine. Tristan Ray starting out at cornerback again tonight. Good to see that. Shiloh sends a man in motion. That's Zane Slider. Fakes the handoff. Cole Creighton throws that out to Slider, and that's knocked out. Good job, Tristan Ray, with the pass breakup.
Nice job. The ball was put. He had it right where he needed it to be. Tristan Ray got in there, got his hand in there between the ball and the receiver's body, and just knocked it clean.
Good start for the Pointer defense. The Saints send three out to the left. Motion number 18, the tailback, Griffin Mason, over to the right. They'll hand off to him. He's the senior tailback, and he's got room to move. Gets across the 50, and they will spot him out at the 45-yard line for a first down. 13-yard gain on that play.
You know, Jay, we talked about we weren't sure who we were going to see. You can see them kind of, they mix and match their backs, and then they bring in 18, Griffin Mason, and he's a senior running back, and he got the ball that time.
Handoff again to number 18, Griffin Mason, and he gets up across the 45 down to the 41-yard line. So 5-yard gain for him.
In watching him on film, he's a tough downhill runner. The linebacker's going to have to get in there. Once he gets ahead of steam going, he's a 2, 3, 4-yard back.
The big left tackle for Shiloh Christians, having conversations with some of the D1 Ivy League schools, so they've got some skill up front. Good tackle from behind. How about that? Great play, Jace Ponder. He got his hands on Cole Creighton and brought him down. And they're going to say no gain.
Yeah, no. He got in there, got some initial pressure, and then he just stayed with it. He didn't quit. He stayed with it and got to the quarterback.
Handoff again over the middle. That's Griffin Mason. He got a few yards. They'll put him down to the 36, 37-yard line. It'll be 4th and short.
They're going to go quick.
Hand it off to him again. He got first down yardage down across the 35 to the 34-yard line. So fresh set of downs for the Saints. Van Buren making them work for it.
Yeah, solid set of downs on defense. They got the first down, made him go 4 downs. He's a tough back to stop once he gets ahead of steam going.
Sends a man in motion. Quick toss to number 11, one of those elite wide receivers. He makes a man miss, and he's trying to outrun Talon Jones. Talon got a hold of his heels and brought him down at the 18-yard line.
And they've got a flag over here on this side.
We'll get the call. Illegal shift on the offense negates a big gain. Number 65, the left tackle for Shiloh Christian, should be a familiar name for Pointer fans. Maddox Welburn is the cousin of Big Alex Welburn, who plugged up the middle of our Pointer defense for several years and is now playing college football. Trips right in a bunch formation for Shiloh on a long first down. Hand off again, and he gets 4 or 5, but maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
Good job by the defense coming in there. Good job by Tristan Ray coming in from his corner spot, coming in and taking him down low, getting him on the ground. And again, now 18 has gone out. 22, Charlie Krell is in there.
Charlie Krell's the starter. Shiloh has a wealth of riches at the tailback position. Good tackle over the middle. My goodness, Tristan Ray came in and finished it off. Jackson Silver started it. Great team tackling by the Pointers.
Well, and it was a great job. Jace Ponder came in on the pressure. He came off the block, hit the quarterback, made the quarterback pay. Didn't get there early, got there to perfect timing, and Jace Ponder made sure that he knew he was there.
Bodenstein took the hit. It's 3rd and 9 for the Saints. He looks right. He comes back left. He's going to throw the deep route, and he's got it, and it was perfectly thrown and handled. That's a touchdown for Chandler Kemp, one of those 3 elite receivers that this team has. So Shiloh Christian strikes first with 7:24 to play in the first quarter. That's a 38-yard touchdown pass.
Chandler Kemp made a good move on the edge right there. made it think he was going to do an in, and then he took it straight up, just used his speed, and quarterback was able to lay it in there. Touchdown, Shiloh.
Shiloh will start in the swinging gate almost every time they have an extra point. They often go for it, but sometimes they swing into an extra point kick. That's a toss over the middle, and they get the 2-point conversion from 8 to 15. Beckham Floyd to Jake Bodenstein, and they lead 8-0 with 7:24 to play in the first quarter. But, Tim, it's not doom and gloom. The defense really played pretty tough that possession.
Yeah, if you look, they had good field position. Shiloh had good field position to start that drive. They got a quick first down, but then the Pointer defense stiffened up, made it more difficult for them to get down the field. You have one play. That's the tough thing about this Shiloh Christian team is sometimes it's all it takes is just that one play. Tristan Ray did a great job coming in, supporting the run. Sometimes they get you pulled in like that, and then he's got responsibility. Looked like he was man for man on number 11, Chandler Kemp. And Kemp made a good move, ran a good route, and he was able to get the touchdown.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a perfectly thrown football, too. And he just dropped it right in the bucket. So, as you said pregame, we're going to have to play near flawless, and defense wasn't terrible. I like what I saw, like the toughness. We talked about them sometimes shooting themselves in the foot. They had a penalty on that one big play. Hopefully we can see a little bit more of that and take advantage of it on the next possession.
And I think from an offensive standpoint, need to get some yardage, get the ball moved down the field, and give that defense a little bit of time on the sideline, let them rest a little bit, but then also move the ball down the field and get some confidence built up for this offense.
It was a 3-minute possession. Teray Wilford handles the kickoff at the 10. He cut back hard to the right, and I tell you, Max Eldridge, number 0, who does double duty, cut his legs. That was a good tackle. And the Pointers will start at about the 20, 21, 22-yard line.
You know, it's exciting to see Teray get the ball because of his speed. He gets moving so quick. You come down, one of the best ways to take a speed guy out is to make sure you get him low.
Tight bunch formation to the left, tight ends on the right this time. Hand off to Christenberry, and Shiloh just absolutely lambasted him in the backfield. The front box, the front 7 for Shiloh was ready for that and played it very well. That ball's back to the 21.
They're big, they're physical. And we're just watching them on tape. They're just a very physical bunch on Shiloh's side.
They've held Christenberry to 2 carries for -4 yards and 1 completion for -2 yards. Or 1 reception, I should say. Williford drops quick out to the left to Austin Riggs. He's got blockers in front of him, but Shiloh recovered quickly. Screen pass was set up seemingly well, but the defense recovered very quick, and they're going to mark that down at the 20-yard line for a yard loss.
Good job by the Pointers getting the ball out. Williford was able to get the ball out to Riggs very quickly, but the defense, their pursuit was excellent to the outside.
Empty backfield for Hayden Williford, gives it a hard count, looks to the sideline, adjusts the protection for his offensive line. Nobody up the middle for the Shiloh line, but they're on the outside. Oh, my goodness, that was a ball that was in Teray Wilford's hands. And number 4, who's that? That's Alexander Salter, knocked it out of his hands. I'll tell you what I noticed, Tim. In pregame warm-up down here, for probably 7 minutes, their coaching staff was running a drill where that's all they did. Ball in hand, get up and knock it out, and you can see that paying dividends right there.
Yeah, because Teray had the ball, and again, looking at the Pointers, knowing what they have to do is get the ball out quick, get it to their playmakers as quickly as possible, and they just made a good defensive play.
Manning Dotson with a really good punt, again, under very heavy pressure. You said on the way up and you said in the pregame, we've got to watch out. They're going to try to block a punt tonight, and, boy, they've been very close both times. But he flips the ball up to the Shiloh Christian, we'll say 45, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be max pressure all night on all special teams, place kicking of any sort. It's max pressure. Now the defense has got to catch their wind and get going.
Three wideouts, a tight end, and a tailback for Shiloh Christian. He sends the tailback in motion to fakes the screen and then runs it up the middle himself. He's going to have a first down and then some. That's Cole Creighton. He got that all the way up to across the 50 and down to the 42-yard line.
Just misdirection, Jay. They just had everybody, most of it was going to the left. You had a lot of defenders thinking the ball was coming, and he just went right.
Creighton's looking deep. He's got a man, and he dropped it. But I tell you, he put that one on him, and he had 3 steps on the defender. Cole Creighton, I haven't seen a team this year, Tim, in the video that you and I watched, aside from the Mountain Home film, nobody likes to throw the ball deep more than these Shiloh Christian Saints do.
Yeah, and they have the ability to get it down there. Fortunate that Kemp just flat dropped it.
So 2nd and 10. 8-0, the Saints have the lead. Good cutback by number 22. Good open field tackle out there. That's, who was that, Jace? Jace Ponder.
Jace Ponder did a good job. He was on the offside. He made a great pursuit to get over there to the other side. He didn't quit on the play. If he quits on that play and he doesn't pursue it all the way to that side of the football, that's a touchdown.
That was a 13-yard gain. Swinging gate from the 29-yard line. Don't see this very often. And Cole Creighton's going to keep it. He's going to try to heave it deep to number 3, and he's got him. He got a step on Talon Jones, which is pretty unusual. And a beautifully thrown ball gives Shiloh Christian a 14-0 lead.
Well, these receivers are adept at being able to slow their speed down, make you think they're going to cut, make you think they're going to move, and then they just can keep on going down. They both did that on 2 different occasions.
So Kemp's got 2 touchdowns in this game. The 2-point conversion attempt was also good. So it's 16-0 with 5:10 to play in the first quarter. Shiloh doing exactly what we expect them to do. A pointer offense, just got to find a way to get the ball moving.
You know, and you have a quarterback so far that really hasn't missed. He's put the ball exactly where he needed to, whether it's in a crossing pattern or something going deep.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct was called. We mentioned, again, we've seen this in several of these Shiloh games where unsportsmanlikes and big penalties have hurt them. That one's not going to affect that 2-point conversion, but it is going to affect where they kick the ball off from, all the way back to the, I believe, 25 now.
And I didn't hear him, Jay. Maybe you did. It sounded like he said the sideline, unsportsmanlike, but I can't be 100% on that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who it was against other than it was against Shiloh and it was unsportsmanlike. Again, I go back to the Southside game, and there were quite a few instances where that was kind of the one flaw that this team showed.
Yeah.
They had a lot of those.
Depending on who it's on, if it's on the bench, it will go against the head coach. They get a second one, the head coach will be ejected. If it's against a player, if that's their first one, the second one they'll be ejected if they get number 2.
All right, so number 34 will kick off from the 25-yard line. Van Buren with a good opportunity to have good starting field position. Talon Jones fields at 25. He gets across the 40, takes a big hit, and gets up to the 44-yard line. So great starting field position for the Pointers and an opportunity to bring this thing back to within 1 score.
Just a positive right there. Able to get there, get it up almost to midfield, and now not feeling like you're backed up in your own territory. It feels better, and right now just whatever builds the confidence, being at almost to midfield, we got to look at it as the glass half full.
Wide receivers will stack on each other on both sides. Hayden Christenberry's behind Hayden Williford's, who is in the pistol. A lot of Shiloh Saints standing up. This is that defense we told you they would bring. And they'll hand off to Hayden Christenberry, and over the left side, positive yardage on this one. Good to see that. We'll see where they mark him down up to the 47-yard line. So a 3-yard gain on first down.
And just not knowing where those defenders are coming from, I can see, just looking at it through the binoculars at our offensive line, it's just confusing.
Certainly unusual. Trips tight to the right. Good hard snap. Teray Wilford by himself on the far side. They back off again. Hayden Christenberry gets up to the 50 on this one. Another positive gain, 3 yards. So it'll be third and manageable now for the first time in this game.
I think the thing you're looking at here, depending on the yardage we get here, a 5-yard gain gives you a first down, possibly 4-down territory.
Such an interesting look on defense that you just don't see. It makes you wonder why more teams don't do it. There must be good reason. Yeah. Otherwise, teams like Alabama would be doing this. But
I think you're right.
Williford throws that out to Riggs, and that'll be a first down. That's a great ball, marked up to the 43-yard line, first down Pointers.
Now that's the success we need to see. That quick 1001, gone. The ball's gone. It's in your receiver's hands. Great job by Williford. Riggs, good pattern, good throw.
2 receptions for 6 yards for Austin Riggs now. Williford stays in the pistol. Hayden Christenberry behind him, trips out to the left. Another quick out to Austin Riggs on the screen play. He's going to make a man miss and then gets tripped up by the second guy, but a good gain up to the 40-yard line. And the Pointers are moving the ball.
Man, that was so close to being much bigger. If that guy doesn't make that ankle tackle, I'm telling you, he's got at least another 8 yards, more than likely a first down.
3:10 and ticking in the first quarter. Pointers moving the ball well. Trips out to the right. Philip Steele back in the lineup. Good to see that, Tim. He's been out with injury for a couple weeks. Austin Riggs with another screen out to the right. He did make 2 guys miss, and Shiloh recovered, but he got 2 yards out of that up to the 38.
Shiloh's pretty good at covering that bubble screen out there. They just got the speed to get to the outside. If they get caught flat-footed, they have the ability to recover.
3rd and 5. Ball's at the 38. Line to gain be the 33, excuse me.
This is definitely 4-down territory.
You're also in field goal range.
For sure.
Williford going to run out to the right. He's going to take it and run. There's a flag in the play, but I tell you what, that's going to come back. I assume that's going to be a hold. Yeah. But I love that we just saw Hayden Williford take off and run that ball.
Well, it's the point you made in our discussions this week, Jay, as we watched film, and then tonight as we were talking about it pregame, that is something that's going to have to happen. We need him to get some yards on the ground. Typically, it's going to – you're not going to see a ton of plays that are called for him to run specifically, but being able to scramble and do things like that, that's a big deal.
So now it's 3rd and 15 from the 48. Got a lot more difficult. 2:13 to play in the first quarter. Too deep for Shiloh Christian. Everybody else at the line. Good quick release. That might have been. That's a pass interference.
That's coming. Yeah, he had his arm draped over his edge.
That was to Carter Kelly, and they were there too early. Is that an automatic first down at high school?
No, it is not an automatic first down in high school.
Is it a spot foul or 15 yards?
No, 15 yards.
So it's going to be close.
It's going to be close to a first down.
And they're going to move the chains. Outstanding.
Right. Okay. You know what? We give up the hold, but we get the interference. Okay, we'll take the trade-off, and we get the first down. Good job. They're really mixing up the formations, especially as far as where they're putting the receivers, just trying to confuse Shiloh, trying to get them to go on a quick count, trying to watch this defense to see where they are and then make some adjustments and get ready to go.
And off to Christenberry over the right side. Great gain for Hayden down to the 21-yard line.
Great job. You set it up. Bubble screens, quick passes across the middle, and then it softens up that middle a little bit. If they have any vulnerability, that's it right there. Great job, Christenberry.
Almost had a little issue with Antoine Cooper running out onto the field. That was I would have been excited to see what they're going to do with him on offense. Quick out to Austin Riggs again. Blocked there by Teray Wilford. Good job and a good undercut by number 9, Silas Nance for Shiloh Christian.
Jay, if those plays are going to be successful, you're going to throw it out there. You're going to do those short screens to the outside to your wide receivers. Your other receivers have to block well. And Teray Wilford made that play happen to get that yardage. He made a great block on the edge.
Pointers got this ball with 5:05 to play. They're approaching 4 minutes on this drive. Play number 10. Quick out to Austin Riggs again, and this time good open field tackle against him.
That's probably just one of those plays that we went to the well just a little bit too often, maybe mix it up a little bit, going to the left and then now back to the right, maybe throw something in there a little bit different. But Shiloh was definitely ready for that one.
4-yard loss on that, back to the 20. It's 3rd down and 9 for the Pointers. They're getting a look at the defense, making the decision, setting the protection. He drops, he looks right, quick over the middle to Derek. To Carter Kelly, and he just fell out of his hands. Incomplete pass will lead to a 4th down, and Hayden Williford put that one on the money.
Man, that is one of those frustrating things because the perfect play was called right there because the defense was blitzing. They were bringing everybody up the middle. Wide receiver open, just couldn't bring it in.
Pointer's either going to go for it or try to draw them off sides. We'll see. 4th and 9 from Shiloh's 20. Shiloh has everybody at the line, nobody deep, and they're all coming.
Got to get rid of it.
Except for the people that were man defense, and they got to Hayden Williford too quick.
Well, we talked about it, Jay. It's just one of those things. It is a tough go out there. They brought the house. They brought the absolute house. The problem you have is you've got too many rushers with the number of blockers you have. You've got that many coming. You only have a limited number of blockers. You're going to have 3 or 4 coming free. That's got to be a hot route read. He has got to find that receiver like right now.
So the ball's going to be spotted at the 30. Shiloh didn't even mask that one. They brought all 11 people to the line, no safeties, and just sent everybody. So 21.1 to play in the first quarter. Creighton takes the snap. He fakes the handoff and keeps. And great defense by the Pointers there. He was met for a loss. We'll see who comes up out of the pile. Jackson Silvers and Chase Ponder in on that action.
And you know what? Great job by the defensive line coming in, collapsing that down right into the hole. And they were able to get that shut down and a yard loss on the play, Jay.
Yeah, they spotted at the 29, so it's going to be 2nd and 11 when we come back to the second quarter. We're going to send you to this message from the University of Arkansas, Fort Smith. We do want to thank the University of Arkansas Fort Smith for making this broadcast possible. They also made the volleyball broadcast possible, and they're going to be sponsoring the basketball broadcast, which, by the way, Tim, starts this Saturday. Yep. Green-white game at the gym all day Saturday, so come get some basketball going.
It's a lot
UAFS.edu.
Yeah, the green-white game is always fun. I went over there as an official. Even as a young official, it's a great place to really get your feet wet and try to understand how the game is played because they start from the 7th grade, guys and girls, and then play it until you play the senior high later in the day.
Getting to watch a lot of the young men that I've got to watch grow up. I got to coach when they were little. Just exciting to see them hit this stage of life. We're keeping an eye on Greenwood and Mountain Home, and Greenwood has jumped out to a 14-0 lead with 5 minutes to play in the first quarter in that game. Good jump for the Pointer defense and good coverage on that screen pass. Boy, that 2 plays in a row, this defense has been very impressive. We'll see where they spot this one.
Jace Ponder is playing that edge tonight, and he is doing a really good job in getting in there. And if he's not getting straight up pressure on the quarterback, he's doing a good job of making the quarterback know that he's there and making sure that he's trying to get rid of that football early.
He exploded on the line on that one. He was coming from the opposite side. But it's 3rd and 7 for the Saints. 11:51 to play in the first half. Creighton drops. He's got time. Pockets collapse, and he throws it over the middle, and that is a heck of a catch. Boy, I tell you what, Tim, Cohen Beach took a wallop and held onto that ball up to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, that he just buried it into his chest, and he held on to it after taking a big hit.
Runs out to the left side. That's a big run for number 18. That's Griffin Mason. They mark him out short of the first down at the Van Buren 44. So 8-yard gain.
They had it shut down. They had the outside covered, but then he made an inside move, cut and got to the outside, was actually able to get outside the defensive containment and make some decent yardage.
And I misspoke. That wasn't enough for a first down. So fresh set of downs for the Saints from the Van Buren 44. Fake the handoff. Creighton's going to keep this one, roll out to the right, and he's got a lot of room, and he's going to score. Unless he trips over his shoelaces, that's a 44-yard touchdown run for Colt Creighton.
Again, that's just one of those plays where he was just able to get to the outside and get down that edge.
Well, Colt Creighton goes 44 yards to give Shiloh a 22-0 lead. It's a good fake and a good roll. Well blocked down the field. See if they go for 2 like they usually do. Colt Creighton's the quarterback. He's getting pressure. He's going to roll out to the right. He underthrew it, I believe. Yeah, so no good on the 2-point conversion.
Ball hit the turf and bounced up into the receiver.
So with 11:22 to play in the first half, Shiloh has jumped up 22-0, but Van Buren on the last possession moved the ball really well. Just had that turnover on downs. Hopefully they can repeat that.
Yeah.
Have another good drive.
I think that's one of those things, Jay. We talked about confidence, and their confidence has got to be up because they were able to move the ball down the field. And you had really basically a touchdown in your hands, and you have to look at it like that we were right there. Just didn't execute it completely, but everything about that drive was positive. So now it's set up. We've got to get this set up for the kickoff return. We've got some speedsters back there. We got to get the ball back. And the white hat is heading over to the sidelines. Guess there's a little bit of concern about some things that are being said. So looks like he's maybe talking to some security folks.
A lot of passion in this game. Yeah. I tell you what. You know what my day job is. Shiloh Christian doesn't mess around. They don't. They send their officers in full tack gear, which is not anything I've seen, and that's not just for this game. It's what they do every game, so that's unusual. And they're going to address a specific fan on the Van Buren side who's been a little passionate.
They're just trying to get the officials. If they feel like that they're being threatened, they want to deal with it. They want to feel like that everybody feels safe out on the football field, and that's all they're doing right now is just making sure that everybody understands that it's okay to cheer, but just can't take it across the line.
Cooler heads need to prevail here. This is just never a good look. I like passion, but this is not a good look. So
now let's play football.
Let's play football. Let's talk about football. Let's keep it about the football players. 16-yard line is where Talon Jones takes the kickoff, and he got across the 25 up to the 27-yard line, and that's where Van Buren will start this possession. It'll be their 4th time having the ball.
Not a bad possession to start. Not a bad place to start this possession. It's a good place to be. And now Van Buren just needs to build on the kind of offensive success that we just had on that last series.
5 wide for Hayden Williford. 11-17 to play. He overlooks over the defense. Gets the quick snap, gets the call, quick release to Carter Kelly, and that one was a little bit out in front of him, but that's another drop. And boy, we can't have drops tonight.
No, we talked about it earlier. It's got to be one of those games we've got to play really well, pretty much mistake-free football. Hayden Williford put the ball right in his hands. When it hits your hands, you got to make the catch.
He's got to find his confidence and catch those balls. He's an important part of this offense for sure. So 5 wide.
Now they've got 11
shift the
straight up
plays.
again. Now
Shiloh mixes it up. Williford throws it over the middle to Riggs. Great catch, great cut, up across the 50-yard line, all the way down to the 47. Great gain on that play.
Love seeing that. I absolutely love seeing that. Being able to, we've got Riggs coming out, limping a little bit. Let's hope that's just something, just a little bit of a stinger.
It's a 25-yard gain for Austin Riggs on that play. Hate to see him down. He's up to 6 catches now, 10, 15, 40, 35 yards.
Yeah, and I mean, this offense is starting to find their rhythm. Hayden Williford is finding his rhythm. He's hitting his receivers on the dime. He was able to get Riggs in stride that time. When you hit your receiver in stride and he's moving without somebody right around his ankles, he's able to move down the field. And Austin's up, walking off on his own. That's good to see. Okay, hopefully they'll get him taken care of. Maybe a little bit of tape and maybe just a couple plays off, and he'll be ready to go again.
It's outstanding to see him finding his mojo again. These last 2 defenses have done such an amazing job of bounding him up. Williford's in the backfield, empty backfield. Again, quick release, and again, another drop pass. My goodness, we have got to come down with those. That time it was Draynon Brower.
I'll tell you, the game plan right now is the call and the plays. They're finding the open spots in that defense. You just got to execute.
Yep. It's almost like he looks forward to the blitz because he's got that quick out, but we've had 3 drops on those, and they would have been big plays.
Well, and when they blitz, there's going to be some open space out there, and Williford has found his spot each time.
2nd down.
Here they come
Williford
again.
drops, sets up the screen. That's going to be to Teray Wilford. He's got room to move, and he got tripped up at the last second, but not till he got a first down. Teray Wilford.
That was a great move. I don't know if you saw that little jump cut. He made the catch, made the quick jump cut to the inside, able to avoid tacklers, got a first down, and really close to scoring.
14 yards on that completion for Teray Wilford. Pointers moving the ball. 10:35 to play in the first half. Quick out to Hayden Christenberry. He catches it. He's had a few drops this year, so great to see him catching the ball. Get 2 or 3, 4, maybe 5 yards on that completion.
This is where the performance is going to happen against this particular defense, is this quickness, getting the ball, Williford recognizing what he has out there as quickly as he does. Again, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, get the ball gone.
Yeah, and they're really doing that well, Tim. You said they were going to have to do it, and that's clearly been the game plan. He's going to throw deep for Teray Wilford. Touchdown, Pointers! Teray Wilford went up and fought for that beautiful ball from Hayden Williford, and Van Buren gets on the board.
Now, you talk about execution. That's where Hayden Williford put the ball out there where only his guy could get it. He high points it, comes down with the ball, takes 2 steps into the end zone. Great job by receiver, great job by quarterback coming together and making that work.
He got the single coverage, man on Teray Wilford, gave his man a chance to make a play, and that's exactly what he did. Manning Dotson now back to kick the extra point. It's up. It's good. Fun fact about extra points here in this stadium, on that end, there's no net. So if you park your car in that area, it's getting thumped by a football.
That's right. When you come to this football field and you park on the south end zone, You park out there, you almost have to look at it like you're parking at a baseball game. You need to figure out where the balls are coming out of the park so that you don't get your car messed up.
1 minute, 24 seconds, Tim, on that drive. What a great possession. 6 plays, a minute 24, 60, 70, 72-yard drive.
And the other thing about that is clock time, yeah, it went pretty fast. But able to move the ball down the field, both run, mixed in a run here and there. But those quick passes, when you're having a hard time getting up the middle and getting the ball, that's a lot like a run. You're getting the ball completed 3 yards down the field and then letting your playmakers trying to get something done down the field. And that happened several times on that possession. Now, not only that, the defense had time to sit on the sidelines and rest, get their wits about them, and get ready to play some defense against a potent offense.
Zane Slider, Chandler Kemp, and Ethan Brewer back to reserve the kick. And this is what we talked about pregame. This is really important. He needs to put this ball into the end zone. These guys are very good at special teams returns.
Yeah, they actually have
good 3 deep, which is unusual.
Oh, yeah, it is. But those are also 3 guys with some really good speed. And then just watch how they block it. We just need to cover it, stay in our zones, and get them on the ground.
So Derek Kelly with the ever-important job of kickoff here. 9:53 to play in the first half. That one's high. It's going to be close, and it's into the end zone. Good job, young man. Shiloh Christian will start at their own 20.
That's what we need to see all night long. See him get that big leg of his, get it down the field, and get it into the end zone. Don't give them any chance to put the ball into play on the special teams.
I know people are probably tired of hearing of it, but as we head into the playoffs and we talk about our kicking game, when you look at next week, Marion or Jonesboro, or even this game, a close game,
right?
I'm telling you, having a good punter who can flip the field or a kickoff specialist who can put it in the end zone, that's steps to win football games.
Oh, it's huge, Jay.
Man goes in motion, fakes the handoff. He's going to throw another deep ball, and I tell you, Kemp's got he is just unstoppable. Kemp's going to go 80 yards on that touchdown. That ball was thrown perfectly, and Kemp had 5 yards by the time he got to the 50.
You know, Jay, that's one thing you want to say. A receiver might have run a good route. He may have made a really good cut. That's just something where that's just speed on speed. When he can take you deep like that and he gets behind you just because of the sheer fact that he's faster, I mean, what are you going to defend? That's really difficult.
They'll have to make some sort of adjustment for sure to keep something over the top, but it's tough with this offense because
it's tough.
They do everything well.
Yeah.
But 28-7, 2-point conversion goes back to the left, right back to Kemp, and he fumbles. Now incomplete.
Yeah.
Now mark it down. So 2-point conversion's no good. Shiloh Christian leads this one 28-7 with 9:41 to play in the first half.
You know, and Tristan Ray has busted his tail man for man on him each time, and he's done as good a job as he can to stay with him and to get with him. And he's tried to slow him up coming off the line of scrimmage, but he's big and he's fast, and that's a tough combination.
Yeah, you can't. It's such a cliche, I hate to say it, but you can't coach speed. You either have that or you don't, and Kemp clearly has it.
Yeah.
And not that Tristan Ray doesn't, but he doesn't have the kind of speed that young man has.
Not that over the top. And coaches are going to look at that. I mean, coaches are going to coach, and they're going to make those adjustments and see what they need to do as far as putting somebody over the top. But when you do things like that, there are other concessions you have to make within the defensive alignment. So you have to take that into consideration. What are you leaving open in the other part of that?
That's right. That's why these teams like Shiloh are what they are. I mean, they're just hard to handle. And Van Buren's moving their direction and moving in that direction, becoming one of those programs that's hard to handle. Big-time tackle on Taylon Jones at the 20-yard line. My goodness. It's clean, but it looked nasty.
Yeah, it was just a big kid being able to come in there and make a good tackle on a kickoff. But decent field position, 22-yard line, it's not bad. And
he's not hurt, which is really important. You watch somebody get tackled that hard. So Van Buren will look to repeat the success they had on the last drive. They start in the pistol with Hayden Christenberry behind Hayden Williford. They'll hand off over the right side, and Christenberry danced inside and got up across the 25 and to the 26-yard line.
Good news, Austin Riggs is back in the lineup. Seems to be maybe a slight limb, but I think if he's not 100%, he's at 90.
Empty backfield like they did most of the last possession, which was very effective. Hayden Williford handled it well. He looks right. He fakes. He throws he throws a pick. Didn't get out of bounds. I don't know if he was looking for Carter Kelly over there or if he was trying to throw it out of bounds, but regardless, it's a turnover, and Shiloh will have the ball at at the Van Buren 30.
That was just some confusion. I think it was the way that they set their coverage up. They didn't come at him like they had before. They dropped more back into coverage that time. He went back. It looked like his initial reaction was to get rid of it quick, but the coverage was there. He held it for a little bit longer, and I think he wanted to throw it out of bounds. It was just a mistake.
So the defense left to stiffen up here. Shiloh's looking to put this one up 4 touchdowns. It's a back pass to the quarterback, and he's got a lot of room over the left side. Can they get him before he gets in the end zone? They can't. Well, we'll see. I can't see the official signal, but okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Touchdown from 29 yards out. Number 18 to number 6. I didn't have that in my bingo card tonight.
No. He handed it off around to the right side, and he had a wall of blockers out there when he got the ball thrown back to the left. Defense, some of them picked it up and stayed home. He just had a lot of blockers out there.
So 34-7, Shiloh Christian looking for the 2-point conversion in a standard formation. This is unusual. Pressure from the left side. Chase Ponders coming after him. He got rid of it and threw a dime to the back of the end zone to Zane Slider, and Shiloh Christian goes up 36-7. They are really good at these 2-point conversion plays.
Yeah, they are, Jay. That was the one thing about that swinging gate, especially when you practice it probably as much as they do, it's deceiving because there's so much you can do out of it, and then you've got the defense spread so far out on the field.
Well, and then the defense gets used to seeing that on the 2-point conversion play, and all of a sudden you go into a normal football formation, just roll your quarterback out to buy time. And Cole Creighton with time to throw is not a good combination.
Well, and then you throw in a trick play like that when you have the weapons out there that they do, and you're trying to cover that. That just puts so much pressure on your defense.
And that's the first time tonight that we've called Zane Slider's number. This is the number 1 receiver in the state by statistical, and Van Buren's apparently defended him well, but Kemp has been a problem. Look at this. Great kick return coming for Taylon Jones. He's got track speed. He got up to we'll see where they spot it. Taylon Jones is going to give him great start in field position at the 50-yard line.
That was an excellent blocked kick return. They were able to get that blocked right up the middle, got an opening. He was able to kick it then outside, and their safety valve defender on the kickoff team was able to just get the angle on him and get him out of bounds at the 50.
That's a good tackle because if he got behind him, they weren't catching him.
No.
He has elite track speed. Williford with a quick hit to Teray Wilford, who also has elite speed, fumbles the ball. Van Buren looks like they recovered it.
No.
Shiloh Christian recovered the fumbles. Big completion negated by a fumble at the end of the play. And Shiloh Christian, we talked in the pregame about timely turnovers. Well, they get a pick, and then they force a fumble right when Van Buren was getting their mojo.
Nobody's more upset than Teray Wilford about that one. He got across. He made a great catch. He made a good move. He was just trying to make something happen. He tries to hurdle a defensive back and gets hit at the exact same time right on the football. It's just unfortunate. It was just unlucky.
So 2 turnovers. One of the things you talked about in the pregame, you really got to play kind of flawless ball. And down 36-7. Got to come up with a stop here.
Yeah. And I believe that's our timeout. I believe that's on Van Buren's timeout. And that's just a good timeout by Coach Haynes, because at this point in the game, you just had the ball. They had the ball at the 50. We ran a play, and now your defense is right back out there. So your defense is, they're on the sidelines talking, trying to figure some things out. And now the frustration is like, we got to go back out there again. So just a great timeout by Coach Haynes, just to say, look, guys, just take a breath. Let's get our wits about us and get out there and let's play some defense and let's get a stop.
So it was a 26-yard completion and then a fumble at the end of the play. Trey Wilford now with 3 catches, approximately 70 yards. He's having a big nod. He'd like to have that play back. 3 wide for Shiloh Christian, a tailback and a tight end, and they'll flip sides. And Van Buren brings up Blaine Pruitt, hands it off to the tailback, who finds a hole over the middle, cuts it out to the right side. Made one man miss before he was brought down by Blaine Pruitt at the 40-yard line.
That's just one of those plays. The defensive line made good penetration, but he was so quick into the hole right there that he was by Antoine Cooper before, and Antoine was getting off of his block, but he was by him so quick that now it's all about your linebackers having to make that play.
I don't know if the officials sent him out. Oh, he's got a uniform issue, so they sent the tailback out.
Probably his knees weren't covered.
Handoff is faked to number 22. Cole Creighton keeps over the right and slides, and maybe a hold. Flag comes in late right there at the end of the play. Creighton gets to the 49 for now. We'll see if it stands up.
And then that's where you're going to have, right at the point of attack, that's exactly where that official's looking. He's looking at the front edge of that play, and so that's where he catches the hold.
So the hold negates the big run. They'll put the ball back at the 39-yard line again. A few sarcastic cheers from the crowd. 1st and 10. Shiloh adjusts their lineup. Sends number 3 in motion. Handoff up the middle. And this guy's got some speed. Number 18 exploded up the middle, and he's brought down inside the 30 by Taylon Jones and Blaine Pruitt. They're going to spot him at the 29-yard line. Big gain.
Good job by Taylon Jones. He's got the speed to stay with him, and he just ran up to his back, slid down his waist, and got his ankles taken out. Thank goodness he prevented a touchdown.
33-yard gain on that play. Creighton throws out left to Kemp again. He's going to get outside. He puts a stiff arm, a wicked stiff arm on Tristan Ray, but he does force him out of bounds.
Good job by Tristan getting out there, taking him all the way out to the edge and getting him out of bounds. But now we have a flag on this side of the field.
For now, the ball's at the 22-yard line. Unnecessary roughness, number 65 on Shiloh Christian. That's some of those big penalties we talked about that they've been prone to do. So big gain is negated by an unnecessary roughness.
Typically what those penalties are, Jay, is the umpire, that came from the umpire, he's watching the inside. Even though the play is going away, he's just making sure there's no junk, no messiness going on the inside. And what happens is one of the linemen that are back on this side, he makes a hit on a defenseless player who's not even in the play. It was a hit that didn't need to be made.
And off over the right side to number 18. He got his uniform fixed, and he got down to the 35-yard line before Ponder was in on the tackle, along with Antoine Cooper.
Yeah, it was a great job by Charlie Vaughn. Charlie Vaughn was the one who made the initial hit on there and was able to get him, and then Ponder came in to help him clean it up and finish off that tackle.
3-yard gain makes it 2nd and 7. Split wideouts for Creighton. Charlie Kroll in the backfield with him, number 22. They send Beach in motion.
Blitz.
They set up the screen, and that's Kroll. Well-designed play. And as one of those you talked about that just unlucky timing on the blitz.
It's coming back, though. We've got another flag on the play.
And got it down inside the 10, but as you heard Tim say, that looks like that's probably going to come back for another penalty.
I mean, where you
We'll
look
get
at
the
it from the
call.
way it was executed,
Second down.
so got
Back
a
to the
hold.
35.
And fortunate on that, Van Buren had the blitz coming. Shiloh had the perfect play call, had a screen out to the right-hand side with the blitz coming. And that usually can equate into a pretty decent gain. That's what it was. Thank goodness they were holding, move the ball backwards.
6.5 to play in the first half. 36-7 Shiloh. Creighton gets the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking deep. He's going to throw a deep ball. And guess who? Kemp got another step, and Kemp has his 4th receiving touchdown of the first half.
You know, we talked all about Slider in the pregame, talking about what a receiver he was, but Chandler Kemp's no slouch. He's been able to get behind the defense tonight and score 4 touchdowns.
And he's had a 3-yard lead on all of those. They really haven't been close. He must have him elite speed.
And not only that, the throw each time has been perfect, right into his hands. It hasn't been underthrown or overthrown. It's just been right in the basket.
2-point conversion attempt for the Shiloh Christian Saints with 6:13 to play in the first half. They'll hand that one off, run a little trickery, reverse, Philly, but he keeps it instead, and Kemp is having a career night. That's his second 2-point conversion, his 4th touchdown. My goodness.
It's just one of those nights for that young man being able to find some open space, having a quarterback that can get him the ball, and he's having a great night. Not much else you can say.
Nope, just got to give credit where it's due. And you and I are not in the business of not doing that. You respect good football, and he's playing good football, and Cole Creighton's playing good football.
And so, you know what, Van Buren, let's get the ball back. The offense just needs to say, we've been moving the ball. Let's just do what we do. Let's keep those quick hits down the field, getting it to the wide receivers, hitting those crossing routes, getting the screens that work. And you know what? Just keep playing football. We have another football game next week. You want to keep playing this one. You want to keep playing hard. But you know what? We need to go into next week with the positives, knowing that we're capable of playing with just about anybody. So we just got to keep doing that.
And everybody's 0-0 starting next week. Phelan Jones will take this one from the right side. He cuts it back across the 20, got up to the 28-yard line. That's where Van Buren will begin this possession with 6:08 to play. Again, told you we're keeping eyes on Mountain Home and Greenwood. Greenwood now leads 21-0 with 2.5 to play in that game.
Jay, just to make a point, you talked about if you saw anything, especially as we were watching film earlier in the week about with Shiloh, if they shot themselves in the foot very often, it was with penalties was a glaring point. Right now the penalty count's 6-1. Shiloh 6 penalties, 1 for Van Buren.
They play very aggressive, but they go overboard sometimes, and they've gotten away with it so far this year, except for Greenwood.
That's just a play that Hayden Williford felt like it was covered. There wasn't anybody there. Had a screen set up. They had it sniffed out. He just threw it at the feet of the receiver. Just lived to play another day.
5 wide on 2nd and 10 for Hayden Williford. Gives it a hard snap, looks to the sideline, sets the protection. Offensive line has done a pretty decent job keeping him safe, but the play calling has been so good at it. How about this? Number 1, that's Draynon Brower. He catches this one and gets up to the 38-yard line. Draynon Brower getting in on the action.
Again, the blitz came. They were bringing linebackers. They played that little bit chaos. They were bringing everybody. It leaves the middle of the field wide open. Hayden Williford recognized that. He had receiver in the area, put the ball on the money. He caught the ball.
Train on 1 catch for 11 yards. Had that drop earlier, but he is feeling better now. Trips to the left for Williford. He looks that way. He throws it quick out to Austin Riggs. No penalty dropped right there. I thought it might be a block in the back, but Austin fought and got up to the 43-yard line. 4-yard gain.
Yeah, that was close. Teray Wilford needs to be careful on that. That was could have been called. That was close, but the defender was already in the attempt of making the tackle. It really didn't have an impact on the play. Good job by the official not throwing the flag.
7th catch of the night for Austin Riggs. Trips to the tight side of the field, including Abe Cohn, Carter Kelly, and Teray Wilford. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. They'll send Abe Cohn in motion. He looks, he sets up the screen, and that's picked off. That was read by Brody Francis, and Brody Francis may get this one all the way back into the end zone, and he's going to. So Brody Francis read that screenplay from the get, and he's got a pick 6, and Shiloh Christian takes absolute control of this ballgame.
That was just one of those plays. Hayden Williford goes back, looking for Hayden Christenberry. Had it set up, but number one he just made a great defensive read because he was there. That's what Hayden Williford saw. He just tried to get it over the top. And one made a good defensive play. He just read it very quickly and then just pulled back towards the running back, and he made the pick.
Shiloh acting like they're going to kick an extra point.
That's a shocker.
And they are. They can do that too. They're up 51-7 with 4:44 to play in the first half. We're going to send you to this message from the University of Arkansas, Fort Smith, and we'll be right back.
What are you going to say?
So Shiloh Christian in firm control of this one. 4:44 to play in the first half. They lead at 51-7. So Van Buren will do a couple things from here on out, Tim. You look to take care of your players because the real season starts next week.
That's right.
Get some things righted, maybe get some guys some play time. You don't give up, but at the same time, how does Coach Henry balance, hey, let's protect our starters, knowing that next week everybody's 0-0 and we're playing for a state championship?
Yeah, it's a fine line that he's walking because you don't want to continue with the frustration. You want to give some other players a chance. But honestly, like Teray Wilford, the last catch he made was a fumble. You don't want him – that doesn't need to be the last thing in his head.
Right. Talon Jones fields this one at the 15. He cuts up the right side. Boy, if he had got past that, he had some room. A flag came flying in. We'll see what that is. Most likely some sort of hold on us.
Well, with a kickoff return, sometimes you just never know. There's so many variables, so many moving parts in a kickoff.
Here's the call.
During the return, holding, return team, number 48, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down Van Buren.
So Aiden Laxton is called for the hold, and the Pointers will begin this possession from their 14-yard line.
All right. You come out there, and now just look for the positives, continue to execute your game plan, and move the ball down the field.
Tristan Ray in at quarterback with 5 wide. Gets the snap, looks left, hit a quick out to Abe Cohn, slightly underthrown, incomplete pass on first down. was watching Tristan throw the ball in the pregame, and he's throwing a pretty ball. He was throwing the ball well.
Yeah. It looks like we've got some replacements in on the front line. Teray Wilford's out there.
Abe Cohn getting a lot of play time tonight.
Yeah,
good to see that.
And I don't see
Traynon
Riggs
Brower
out there. Philip Steele's out there.
And off to Hayden Christenberry, and he gets a big hole over the right side, and that may be enough for a first down. We'll see where they spot it. And they spot it up to the 22-yard line, 8-yard gain. So third and manageable for the Pointers here, and they'd really like to keep this ball basically the rest of the first half and score with no time left.
That would be the perfect scenario, Jay.
Tristan Ray looks left. He's in trouble. He breaks it out to the right, ready to tackle, and I think he got enough, Tim. That's a great run by Tristan Ray.
Definitely got enough for a first down.
26-yard line.
Number 8, Tristan Ray on the carry, pushed out of bounds.
Good job by Tristan pulling the ball down, making something out of the play when he just couldn't find a receiver.
So 4-yard gain for Tristan Ray and a fresh set of downs for the Pointers. 5 wide. He's in trouble again. Shiloh sent the house. He made 2 guys miss, but now they've got everybody on him. Kept it alive for a little while, but they sent in the reinforcements.
Well, that's one thing that Tristan that is going to have to figure out, a lot like Hayden Williford did when the game first started, was that we just got a late flag. Something was said, something was done. Because this was way late. Came from the umpire.
Van Buren's acting like that's going to be on them.
And that's something Coach Henry's not going to put up with, especially if you're going out there as a reserve and you're going out there and you're getting some playing time. And he's 65 right now, is awfully upset. Kyron Johnson is not a happy camper.
So Kyron Johnson gets whistled for the unsportsmanlike. That'll push the Pointers back to the 8-yard line.
Kyron's upset. I can see him. He's and that's one of those situations. He's probably mad because he wasn't the first guy to do something, but he was the guy who got seen by the official, and it happens. I know it's a cliche almost, but I'm telling you, it happens a ton.
Tristan Ray's got to get rid of it quick, and he does to Abe Cohn, who makes the one cut. Might just should have run forward on that, but he's up to the 4, or back to the 4, so a 4-yard loss on that play. And the Pointers are in a deep hole.
Yeah. This is one you might want to see Christenberry just pound the ball up the middle.
It's 3rd down.
That's exactly what they'll do. They'll hand it over to the left side, and he puts his shoulder into it. Guy doesn't get first down distance, but he gives his punter room to kick.
Yeah, that's the main thing on that. Just trying to get yourself out from the shadow of that goalpost and get yourself some room so Manning Dotson can have some area to work.
So things getting a little chippy here at Shiloh Christian. 2.5 to play, and Van Buren trails 51-7. Manning Dotson will have his feet on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and that happens, Jay. I mean, you get a team that gets down like this. They're frustrated. They're irritated. They're just flat mad.
Good quick punt, but that shanks out of bounds bad. So Shiloh will have great starting field position with 2:11 to play and all 3 timeouts.
Now the coaches are going to just try to manage the game. They're going to try to manage what they have in players, trying to get some playing time, and also just trying to keep their starters from getting hurt and any more frustrated than they are. And the officials are out there. Now they're just trying to manage the game from the standpoint of keeping the chippiness down. They don't want to see anybody else not play next week because they got tossed because of next week's playoffs, and you don't want anybody to miss that.
Pretty favorable spot for us on that punt to the Shiloh 49. Number 18 cuts that back, and he lays the wood on one of our guys. But I'll tell you, he stood in there and took it and then pushed him back. It was number 38, Donovan Akins, one of the toughest guys on this team, ate that hit and then drove him back. Great job, young man.
Donovan Akins was in there. He was also not only was he trying to drive him back, he was trying to rip the ball out. Good job, Donovan.
Hand off again to number 18. Carries the defender down to the 43, and a flag came in late. Let's see who it's on. Came from the white hat, so probably a holding.
It's hard to tell. There was just, again, there's some chippiness going on, and yeah.
So they move it back 10 yards from the spot. That should put it at the 43-yard line.
The officials have their work cut out for them on the rest of this half and the second half, because you've got fans and you've got folks that are just not happy with the way this game has gone. And
Bodenstein in at quarterback now. He hit that one out to number 18, Griffin Mason, who got popped by Chase Ponder. Somebody's hurt, and Antoine Cooper's calling from staff to get to him.
It looks like his helmet, I don't know if did his helmet come off or did he take it off?
Not sure what's happening. Training staff's going to be out there. They're going to tend to him. While they do that, we're going to send you to this message about 5th grade camp.
Tucked away in the Arkansas River Valley is a place where excellence isn't just a goal, it's a tradition. From the stage to the field, from the classroom to the community, Van Buren School District has set the standard for over 100 years. And for 2 consecutive years, we've been honored as best of the best in the River Valley. But here, being a Pointer means more than just attending school. It's embracing a tradition of learning, striving for greatness, and joining a legacy that drives success. Discover what makes the Pointer family truly the best of the best.
All right, good to see that young man coming off the field. He's limping, so that's, who's that, 19. Braden Dawes coming off the field with some help. I got to tell you, you and I don't really discuss injuries on the air because it's not appropriate, but the way Antoine Cooper came up, it made me fear it was a serious head injury or something. So not that you're ever happy about a leg injury, but I'm thankful we're not talking about something more serious.
Well, Antoine, when he jumped up, he was motioning right away for the coaches to get over there. And it looked like it was a non-contact injury. It was something that he either cut or planted as he was trying to make the tackle or bringing the kid down, and something gave way.
With regards to the football, the line to gain is the 41-yard line. It's 3rd and about 18 for the Saints. Again, they brought in their backup, Bodenstein. Got false start. Yeah, he tried to get Van Buren to jump, and one of these Saints jumped instead.
Yeah, Zane Slider actually on this outside. He was trying to get everybody else to, the quarterback was barking a quick cadence, and he was trying to get everybody else to jump, and then I want to say his star wide receiver, but Zane Slider hasn't held a candle tonight to Chandler Kemp.
No, but it's kind of like having Austin Riggs. He opens the door for everybody else because you have to know where he is at all times.
That's a great point.
Bodenstein drops. He throws a pretty ball. the outside shoulder of Kemp, and for the first time tonight, the Pointers are able to keep him from getting a completion. That was number 5, Brady Perkins, on coverage, doing a great job.
That was great coverage by
Brady
Perkins. Yeah, he did a great job running straight down the field with him. He was step for step and did a great job defending on that pass.
So Shiloh Christian, for the first time tonight, will punt the ball with 1:19 to play in this opening half. They lead at 51-7. Oh, it's a fake. Are you kidding me? It's intercepted by Blaine Pruitt, and I'm glad Blaine Pruitt got a...
Yeah.
I'm really going to have to measure my words right here. So I tell you what, I'm not going to make any comments. I'm just going to say that Van Buren takes over on their own 22.
Good job by the defense to recognize what was going on there. Not sure why you would fake that punt up 51-7 in the first half, but we'll just leave that with them.
We will be the professionals that we strive to be.
You anyway. You try.
Tristan Ray throws that out to Abe Cohn, and he's met by 3 defenders immediately, but he does get some yardage on that. We'll see where they spot him, probably up to the 23. Now up to the 25, so 3-yard gain for Cohn. He's got 2 catches now.
I'm glad to watch Abe Cohn get involved in this. He's going to be a big part of this Pointer team next year.
Absolutely. That's a good quick out to Hayden Christenberry. He was immediately tackled. Spotted the ball at the 29-yard line. So 4-yard gain. He gets it the old fake and gives it the under to Ray Wilford, who almost coughed up that ball, but then made a man miss. Got spun around and tripped up again up across the 41. So Teray Wilford gets first down yardage.
You know, good job. Still playing football. I mean, this is still a game. Still a half to go. Out there executing plays, trying to get the ball down the football field and score a touchdown.
Wilford's got 4 catches, and none of them are less than 14 yards. Hey, that's a beautiful deep ball by Tristan Ray. Just slightly overthrew his target, Philip Steele, but like to see that action.
Yeah, that was a nice throw right down the sidelines. Philip Steele was in a boot 2 weeks ago. We saw him walking in a boot, and he wasn't sure what the season looked like, what it was going to be the rest of the year for him. And to see him back out there is nice.
Quick out to Hayden Christenberry. He made a man miss and then jumps another man at the 50, and that'll probably be the end of the first half. They'll spot him at the 49-yard line. So a good way to end the first half. 9-yard gain on that pass completion for Hayden Christenberry. So it's been a dominant half of football. It's been chippy. Lot to talk about, but for now we're going to send you to a couple messages, and then we'll send you to whatever halftime entertainment we have. This is Pointer Media. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Tim Malone, I'm Jay Baker, and we will be right back.
In Van Buren, camp isn't just a trip, it's a milestone. For our 5th graders, it's a chance to grow, connect, and create memories that last a lifetime. It's where lessons stretch beyond the classroom, where kids discover courage, teamwork, and the excitement of new challenges. For over 20 years, camp has been a cornerstone experience for our students, made possible by the pride and support of Van Buren. When you give, you're not just helping send a child to camp. You are investing in the heart of Van Buren. You are ensuring every student carries home memories, lessons, and friendships that last a lifetime. This is what makes Van Buren special. Let's continue the legacy together.
of 2026 senior football players. Number 3, wide receiver Zane Slider. Son of Charles and Christina Slider, Zane plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Number 4, cornerback Alexander Salter. Son of Justin Salter and Susan Sherritts. Xander plans to play baseball at the University of Central Arkansas. Student assistant Luke Morgan, son of Sean and Lisa Morgan. Luke has enlisted in the United States Navy active duty. Number 11, wide receiver Chandler Kemp, son of Jeff and Beth Kemp. Chandler plans to play baseball at the University of Central Arkansas. Number 13, safety AJ Elanen, son of Ramon and Melissa Elanen. AJ plans to play baseball at the University of Central Oklahoma. Number 17, cornerback Zach Rowe, son of Jason and Katie Rowe. Zachary plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Number 18, running back Griffin Mason, son of Tom and Elizabeth Dowell and Steve Mason and Tracy Hudson. Griffin plans to play football at Harding University. Number 20, linebacker Ethan Brewer, son of Mark and Brooks Brewer and the late Amanda Brewer. Ethan plans to pursue a trade or a career in the military. Number 52, offensive lineman and defensive linebacker Mason Mounts, son of Jared Mounts and Haley Mounts. Mason plans to play baseball and pursue a degree in finance. Number 34, kicker Aiden Eastwood, son of Mark Eastwood and Alice Eastwood. Aiden plans to attend Northwest Arkansas Community College. Number 44, defensive lineman Aiden Pullen, son of Christopher and Christy Pullen. Aiden plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Number 58, offensive lineman Bowen Gillison, son of Lloyd and Hope Gillison. Bowen plans to play baseball in college. Number 65, offensive lineman Maddox Wellborn, son of David and Amy Wellborn. Maddox plans to play football at the University of Pennsylvania. Number 68, offensive lineman Aiden Hagan, son of Aaron and Ashley Hagan. Aiden plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Number 90, defensive lineman Xander Hernandez, son of Eric and Raquel Hernandez. Xander plans to pursue a degree in welding. Please give our football seniors one more round of applause. And now please welcome senior cheerleaders and dancers. Senior cheerleader Ava Anthony, daughter of Jeff and Tessa Anthony. Ava plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Senior dancer Isabella Beeler, daughter of Andrew and Ashley Beeler. Isabella plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Senior cheerleader Kate Kiefer, daughter of Wade and Claire Kiefer. Kate plans to also attend the University of Arkansas. Senior dancer Alexis Lee, daughter of Travis and Jennifer Lee. Alexis plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Senior dancer Adeline Patrick, daughter of Ashley Patrick and Allison Patrick. Addie plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Senior cheerleader Lily Teasy, daughter of Aaron and Brenda Teasy. Lily plans to cheer in college. Senior cheerleader Emily Williams, daughter of Brian and Holly Williams. Emily plans to attend Palm Beach Atlantic University. And Senior Spirit Team Manager Lila Kate King, daughter of David and Lisa King. Lila Kate plans to attend John Brown University. Please give our Spirit Team seniors one more round of applause. And now please welcome senior band members. Senior drum major Caden McKinney, son of Jason and Katie McKinney. Caden plans to attend Arkansas Tech University. Senior color guard Ellie Jaspers, daughter of Michael and Adrian Jaspers. Ellie plans to pursue a degree in engineering. Football filmer and senior trumpet Ace Katzer, son of Cody and Wynn Katzer. Ace plans to attend Northwest Arkansas Community College. Please give our band seniors one more round of applause. And now please welcome senior cross-country golf and tennis. Senior tennis Eli Brown, son of Nathan and Alicia Brown. Eli plans to attend Arkansas College of Electricity. Senior tennis Avery Coleman, daughter of Kyle and Emily Coleman. Avery plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Senior golf Tripp Conley, son of Clay and Kara Conley. Tripp plans to attend Ouachita Baptist University. Senior cross country and senior golf Ava Claire Denton, daughter of Justin and Meredith Denton. Ava Claire plans to attend Mississippi State University. Senior tennis Christian Grigg, son of Donnie and Amy Grigg. Christian plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Senior tennis Holland Henry, daughter of Lance and Crystal Henry. Holland plans to pursue a degree in pre-law. golf, Kai Holland, son of Scott and Kelly Holland. Kai plans to pursue a degree in mechanics. Senior cross country, Jack Ho, son of JC and Christy Ho. Jack plans to attend the United States Naval Academy. Senior tennis, Jude Humphrey, son of Byron and Carrie Humphrey. Jude plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Senior tennis, Kate Knudsen, daughter of Charles and Lisa Knudsen. Kate plans to attend the University of Arkansas. Senior tennis, Olivia Lowry, daughter of Ben and Rebecca Lowry.
Tucked away in the Arkansas River Valley is a place where excellence isn't just a goal, it's a tradition. From the stage to the field, from the classroom to the community, Van Buren School District has set the standard for over 100 years. And for 2 consecutive years, we've been honored as best of the best in the River Valley. But here, being a Pointer means more than just attending school. It's embracing a tradition of learning, striving for greatness, and joining a legacy that drives success. Discover what makes the Pointer family truly the best of the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great senior night here at Shiloh Christian School. We want to remind you to be sure and visit the concession stand tonight. We've got all your favorites over there, including McAllister Sweet Tea, Chick-fil-A sandwiches and nuggets, hamburgers, hot dogs, double doozy cookies for sale. Cash and credit cards are accepted at the concession stand. We'll see you over there. After you're done at the concession stand, head on over to the Spirit Store. It's open and located to the right as you enter the stadium. We've got lots of fan gear and swag available to be sure. Stop by and check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field your 2025 Shiloh Christian Cheer and Dance Squad. Ladies and gentlemen, bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. Swizzy. Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out. TIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the bands in the States wanna see about me. The whole city got berserk, he got three. The others still piling money stacked taller than Shaq now. Still push the button to let the roof on the back down. I'm on the road doing shows, put my neck down. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Come on. Got the crowd yelling, bring them out, bring them out. All my hot girls yelling, bring them out, bring them out. All my dope boys yelling, bring them out, bring them out. From the back, they yelling, bring them out, bring them out. Hands in the air now, hands in the air now. Hands in the air now, hands in the air now. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for your 2025 Shiloh Christian Cheer and Dance Squad.
This is Pointer Media. I'm Jay Baker with my broadcast partner Tim Malone. 2:45 to left before we start the second half. I'll tell you, some of the most exciting things we've seen tonight have been Derek Kelly out here kicking pregame and at halftime. He literally just nailed a 60-yard field goal, had 4 or 5 yards to spare. Is he going to back it up further?
No.
Like we're up here in the press booth and we're watching this halftime show that he's putting on, and it's really impressive. But, Tim, I guess we got to talk a little football. Completely dominant half of football by Shiloh Christian.
Yeah.
Kind of everything we thought.
Yeah. They're talented. I mean, they're talented. They executed well. They've got receivers with some speed, and you said it well in the first half. Again, I know it sounds cliche, but you can't coach speed, and when you've got that kind of speed and you can get deep, and then you have a quarterback that can throw the ball deep, that's a deadly combination for a defense.
Yeah, Kemp had 4 touchdowns. Chandler Kemp, he wears number 11, senior, 5'11". 4 catches, 4 touchdowns, and 182 yards. So pretty dominant first half for him and the whole Shiloh Christian offense. Couple of exciting things going on this week in Pointer Nation. Basketball starts Saturday. We'll have the green-white game at Claire Bates Arena all day long. You can watch the kids from Butterfield and Northridge and Freshman Academy and then the high school. We are about to set off into basketball season, but we still have football to play too, so that's exciting. We've been watching the scores from around the state. Greenwood's up 21-3 on Mountain Home in the second half. Looking like they're in control of that one, so they'll take the 6A West unless there's a big comeback in the second half.
And
the tiebreaker between Mountain Home and Shiloh will go to Shiloh, so Shiloh will finish in second place in the conference. Van Buren will be fourth as we anticipated, or as we said might happen. We said that Benton and Marion game has a lot to do with who we play next week, and at the half, Benton and Marion are tied at 14. So there's a lot to sort out on the east side of the state still.
Yeah, and knowing we have a home playoff game next week, and again, either Marion or Jonesboro is the way that it's looking. First will be Greenwood in the west, and then Shiloh will finish second. They will get first-round byes.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Mountain Home will have a home playoff game, as Van Buren will have a home playoff game. So that's the way that's going to stack up. And if you're looking to find out, you'll know tonight with the scenarios we've given you, but officially the matchups will come out from the state of Arkansas from the AAA tomorrow.
If Sylvan Hills holds on and wins, then that's the second round matchup for the team out of the West 4 East 5 spot, which is where Van Buren's going to end up playing. Hey, let's talk about championship games. Tomorrow, Johnny Gregory and some of the Van Buren Youth Football League teams are playing for titles over at Southside. The second grade team plays at 10 a.m., the third grade team plays at 11:30 a.m., and the fifth grade team will play at 2:30 p.m. The Van Buren Youth Football program is feeding players. We actually have the most teams in championship games of all the different schools and cities that participate tomorrow. So the bi-state championships at Southside High School beginning at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Good luck to all the little future Pointers and representing us well this year.
Yeah. My grandson's team got beat by an Alma team. I think there's only one team from Alma, the fourth grade team at Northside last Saturday. So as far as my family is concerned, our sports is over. But although there are some state, the kids will be going to state over in Little Rock and playing in like state tournaments. And so that's something to look forward to if you have kids heading over and playing football, being asked to play on some of those. They're kind of like, it's kind of like a travel team, but they put them together. So Van Buren's putting a team together. And I think my grandson Gabriel is going to be able to go to Little Rock next weekend, and they play for the whole weekend. Saturday and Sunday and play a championship game on Sunday. So it just gives them a little bit more football time.
There have been several of the coaches, Johnny and I know Nathan Riggs and a few of the others have invested kind of heavily in getting groups from Van Buren to do that. Hey, one of the big things that took place in Van Buren activities this week was the band went to Little Rock for the Arkansas Band State Championship. Finished second, and you want to know kind of where they've gotten that program to. They were just they felt defeated. You know, the standard, they've become literally like the Alabama football of high school bands because they come home crushed that they didn't win the state championship second year in a row, but they've won like 7 in the last decade. The band just does amazing things, continues to do amazing things, and I have no doubt that whatever they felt didn't work out to get them that championship this year, they'll do something a little different next year and get back where they want to be.
When I saw that, I knew, just knowing, living in Van Buren for 20 years and how successful the band has been, when I actually saw that online that they had finished runner-up in the state competition, I knew that they were just not going to be happy with that.
Yeah, and I hope if you're listening, I hope you'll hear how proud everybody who lives in Van Buren of you. I know you were disappointed not to bring home the title, but just the dominance and the excellence and the work that you all put in, whether you're one of the band directors or one of the staff members or one of the student leaders or the people out doing 3-a-days in the summer. Know that your work doesn't go unnoticed, and we're proud of you and proud of the work you put in.
They work so hard. Out on that blacktop in the middle of summer, marching those routines, playing those instruments, twirling the flags, doing what it is that they do, and doing it at such a high level.
Derek Kelly will kick off to start the second half. Again, he'll need to put this in the end zone. Shiloh still has a slider back there and some weapons. So that's a good low kick, but it's going to be fielded by Slider, and he's going to take off down that left side that they like to run these kickoff returns. And Van Buren does a good job covering this one, although he still does get across the 35. We've got a player down, holding a knee, so hopefully he's okay. So the clock will run the entire half due to the sportsmanship rule, up by 35 or more in the second half. And the Saints lead this one by 44.
Saints training crew is already out there working with him.
A couple of his teammates are concerned for him.
That's good.
It's Talon Jones.
Yeah, we don't need to see that.
So he'll limp off. Hopefully it's nothing major. Let him hopefully take the rest of the night off. Heal up and get ready for next week, most likely against Jonesboro, possibly Marion.
You know, that we talked about this earlier. This is the danger in a game like this. Now you've got a second half. You're going to have the clock that's going to run, and you don't want anybody hurt with a home playoff game coming up next week. And Talon Jones isn't one that we need hurt. And we don't need anybody hurt, but you're talking about guys that are integral part of him as a defensive player. We also had Braden Dawes that went down earlier, and then Austin Riggs went down, but he got back up and got back in the football game.
Well, so far on defense, it looks like all the starters are in. Start second half. Bodenstein at quarterback. He hands off up the middle to number 28. That's Will Fryer. He's a sophomore.
Great job. Darren Mays was in there on the tackle. Also Blaine Pruitt.
Trying to figure out where the original down was. 36-yard maybe?
Yeah, he got maybe a yard on that. It looks like maybe the 35 was the original line of scrimmage.
So we'll call it the 35 to begin with. From the angle that we have in this booth, it can be difficult. It's a pretty low booth, so you don't get a real good look. Bodenstein throws that one incomplete, out of bounds. It'll be third down for Shiloh.
He was trying to throw out to Jonah Mabry, a sophomore. He was trying to get him out there, but I don't think Mabry knew the ball was coming because his back, he looked like he was out there to try to block. No idea the ball was coming to him.
So 3rd and 9, Van Buren with a chance to get Shiloh off the field, assuming they don't fake a punt. Van Buren with 3 down. Here comes Ponder around the left side. He got tripped up pretty good. Charlie Vaughn's going to get him a sack. Good job, young man. Charlie Vaughn working hard, and he gets to the quarterback first. And I'm not the statistician, but I'm giving him credit for it.
Oh, man, we got another pointer down, and he's holding his knee.
So it's going to be 4th down after the
that's
injury.
Jace Ponder. Man, this is not something you want to see in a game like this.
No. That clock is ticking right now, and it doesn't hurt my feelings a bit. Let's just get out of here and get ready for the playoffs. And now the White Hat's going to stop the clock for the injury. It's a fine line, Tim, because it's high school football. You don't have the kind of depth where you can go, okay, next 11.
Yeah.
It's not like college where you can bring in a whole 11 B team, if you will.
Well, and let's just take Jace Ponder right now. You know, Jace is on the turf and he's hurting. But Jace is a kid that has a high motor. And, I mean, he wants to be out there. And I'm sure the coaches, especially with a lot of these starters, the coaches are like, okay, he's walking off on his own. Good. He probably won't see the field the rest of the night. And he's frustrated. He's irritated. He doesn't want to be hurt. He's mad about the score. He's a competitor, you know, and he wants to be out there. And so, you know, coaches, again, walk a fine line trying to say, well, you know, we don't want you to get you hurt, but you've got a player out there like, I want to be out there. I want to play football. That's what I'm here.
So Bodenstein is the backup quarterback. He's also the punter. Last time he was on, they threw a fake. Score was the same it is now. He kicks from the 15, and this one is a punt. Maybe that's why they didn't punt it. Not a great punt. No. Van Buren's going to get the ball at the Shiloh Christian 47-yard line with about 8 minutes to play. Again, a running clock due to the sportsmanship rule.
Oh, they're picking it up.
Kingsley Cook. I see some different guys coming in on the offensive line. Patrico Cottle in the backfield. Cannon Russell getting some play time. Traylon Brower has played a ton tonight.
You know, just to kind of give you some insight in the way the officials approach a game when you have a sportsmanship rule going on in the second half. You have a game that got a little bit chippy at the end of the first half. The officials, they work to manage the game and try to keep the yellow flag in their pocket.
Boy, Cottle exploded through that hole. That was really good running by him. Good power running to get 3 or 4 yards up to the 42-yard line. 5 yards.
Nice to see that quick speed of his, that quick first step, and then into the hole.
He definitely looked explosive on that play. Ray throws out to the right to Abe Cohn. It was too high, almost picked off. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Pointers.
Didn't have a lot of blitz that time. Wasn't a lot of room out there. They're playing a zone. They have 2 over the top. They had a zone, had him underneath. Really wasn't a lot of space to throw the ball there.
Now, he won't like that one on film, but
no.
That's why you keep playing. Learn those lessons now. So Ray's in the pistol. Shiloh backed off and then came aggressively. Cannon Russell with his first reception, I believe, of the year. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be fourth and about 5 or 6.
Cannon Russell in there as a wide receiver. We saw him coming in as the third quarterback against Farmington. We were impressed with his abilities. Coach Henry said that's another kid who's just a competitor. Yep. He does whatever you ask him to do.
Yep, elite basketball player and just an athlete. Ray's got an empty backfield. He's got time, and he had a target over the middle. He slightly overthrew him, and it'll be a turnover on downs for the Pointers. Trying to see who his target was there. Oh, that was Cannon Russell.
It was just thrown behind him a little bit. It would have been a tough catch.
So the clock continues to roll down to 5.5 minutes, and Shiloh Christian will take over at their own 41-yard line.
Our front line looks a little bit different right now on defense.
Beck Botson is in.
Yep. Try to give you the lineup as we go here. Beck is
Nathan
in.
Hunter's
Nathan
on the right
Hunter's
end.
in. Yep.
Bodenstein gets the snap. He's looking to throw the shoulder fade and just overthrew Huckabee.
Nate Silva's in there. Hayden Elliott's in. Blaine Pruitt's in on defense. Donovan Akins is still in there. He's probably, and Jackson Silver's still in there.
Donovan Akins is going to be fun to watch next year. Him and Blaine Pruitt in the secondary next year are going to be very fun to watch.
Yeah. He's just a tough kid.
Bodenstein rolls left. He's looking down the field, and he overthrew his target, number 20, and it'll be third down. I believe that's the son of the volleyball coach up here at Shiloh. Coach Bodenstein has built an elite volleyball program, and I believe that's his son.
Okay.
Pointers split 2 matchups with them this year. Trips to the left. Single safety for the Pointers. Bodenstein gives it the clap, gives it the snap, thinks about running, then tucks it and throws it to number 24. That was Jonah Mabry was his target. Incomplete pass. Brings up fourth down for the Saints.
That was a good – Bodenstein made a good pass right there. He was well covered, but he hit him right in the hands. He just wasn't able to haul it in.
You know, I don't want to gush. I know we get accused of that, you and I, being positive about the opponents at times. But one of the impressive things about the stat line for these Saint starters is that there have been a lot of games like this where they're not playing in the second half, and he's still putting up gaudy numbers.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, looking at Chandler Kemp's numbers in the first half, he had 4 catches, all 4 for touchdowns, correct?
Yes. 182 yards.
182 yards. It's not a bad stat line.
Not bad. Not bad. I don't have all the stats on Creighton, but I have a sneaking suspicion if we did the math and tried to figure out his QBR, it would probably be 100.
It'd probably be up there somewhere. Well, and you know, Jay, the fact that I don't think gushing is what we do. We just talk about football as we see it, and we talk about what happens, and what they accomplished in the first half was a fact. I mean, it was just a fact of what happened. We can't just stay silent about it. So no apologies on talking positive and staying positive about both sides of the football, but we love for our Pointers to win, and we want to be most positive about them, but we can't deny what goes on the other side of the ball.
That was a good screenplay out to Abe Cohn. Got 5 yards. Perfectly timed because Shiloh brought the heat, and he got it out quick. So Cohn got 5, and then they went to Patrico Cottle on the next play, and Shiloh was ready for that. No gain on that play. So 3rd down and 5 for the Pointers. Line to gains to 37.
Just want to see some success by these other players that are getting some playing time right now. Just love to see them do some good things.
Tristan Ray cut it loose, but a little bit behind his target. That was Abe Cohn again. It'll be 4th down for the Pointers. We'll see if they just keep the offense on the field and try to do something or punt. Looks like they're going to go for it. Why not?
Why not? 4th and about 5.
Just get these guys reps.
Right at a minute to go in the 3rd quarter.
This is the future of your program, so these reps matter. Quick out to Abe Cohn on the tunnel screen, and he's going to bust it over the middle. He takes a big hit. That ball came out, but he jumped right back on it. He got up to the 47-yard line. First explosive play of the night for Abe Cohn.
Good throw and catch. Good job by Abe Cohn. Young man's got some speed. He kind of turned on the Jets right there.
Abe has always been very shifty. He's hard to bring down. It's hard to handle in basketball. Patrico Cottle goes over the middle, well defended by Shiloh. No gain on that play.
Number 20, Ethan Brewer from Shiloh came in, made a nice tackle coming in from his linebacker spot.
One of the Shiloh players comes up Son's helmet, so he'll have to come out. It's a little slow to get up. Hopefully he's okay. Bottom of that pile without a helmet's not anywhere I want to be.
That's a tough place to be. And that will end the quarter right there, Jay. It'll finish up.
That does bring us to the end of the third quarter. It's 51-7. Shiloh Christian. We'll be right back after this message. UAFS.edu for your continuing education needs. The Lions are the broadcast partner for the Van Buren Pointers. We sure do thank them for making this broadcast possible, the volleyball broadcasts that have now come to an end, and the basketball broadcasts that are about to begin. UAFS.edu for your continuing education needs. Tim, when you and I were young, that was Westark, a 2-year community college.
Yes, that's right.
Grown a lot. Second and 10 for the Pointers. Go ahead.
A couple daughters that went there. One that graduated, then went to U of A up in Fayetteville for her master's.
Tristan Ray, that was a tough snap. He had to handle it, and he recovered it, but then he got swallowed up by a whole bunch of Saints who had bad wishes.
Still running the offense, doing the same thing the starting offensive unit was doing. Now it's just a matter of executing.
Shiloh sent the house on that one. He throws it up for Abe Cohn, and Abe Cohn goes up and battles for the ball. What a great catch all the way down to the 28-yard line.
You know, that's just a young man who wanted to go down and make a catch. That ball it looked like a wounded duck. It was coming down. I think it came out of Tristan Ray's hand really kind of weird. Kind of was just floating up there, and he just went and made a play.
29-yard gain on that. That one's a pass to Patrico Cottle that's brought down. Good to see him bringing the ball in on the passing game down to the 14-yard line.
You know, Tristan Ray was a little bit off on his first several passes, but now he's finding his rhythm, and he's getting this offense moving down the field. Good to say. I love to see Tristan Ray having some success.
I agree. Great young man. Oh, he almost threw a pick there, but it was dropped. And it'll be second down and 10 and a half to play in this game.
The Shiloh defense is playing a little bit different than they were when their starters were in. They're playing a much softer defense. They don't have nearly as much on the rush. They've got linebackers, and their safeties are much softer, so they're in a different position than they were in the first half.
Another screen to Cone, and he tripped this time, and I don't know if they're going to call that incomplete or a fumble.
Yeah, it's incomplete.
That's a good break.
It just bounced off his hands, and he never made a move with the football in control.
His feet slipped when he tried to make that cut. It just kind of messed up the whole catch procedure. So third down, 9:50 to play. Again, if you're just joining us, a running clock, sportsmanship clock. We started the second half at the same score we're at right now, 51-7. Tristan Ray had to roll out to the right there, and he was brought down by big number 44, Aiden Pullen. That'll make for a very long fourth down for the Pointers. They're going to go for it. We kind of joked at the half that we'd like to see them set up a really long field goal opportunity for Derek Kelly. But
it was fun just watching him kick those long-range field goals. Oh, he's got all kinds of room.
Showing the elusiveness, he underthrew his target, so that's as good as a punt. I don't know if he was in the end zone or not. He gave Abe Cohn a chance to make the play.
Yeah. I kind of wish he'd have run with the football. He had all kinds of room. I don't know if he'd have made the end zone, but he certainly would have been close.
Well, they're going to say he was down inside the 1, so if you imagine that was essentially a punt, that's as good a punt as you can do.
Yeah.
Playing highlights in the stadium. I tell you what, they have a great digital presentation in this stadium.
Yeah, that digital board that's right above us. We're on the visitor side in the press box on the visitor side, but their big board is just above us.
Bodenstein threw it from his own end zone. It was dropped, so it'll be second down. Pointer defense will be looking for 2 here.
That'd be fun to see. Get them caught in the end zone, get 2 points for the Pointers, and then make them punt the ball away and get the offense back out there and have some more fun.
One of those chances, if you're a defensive lineman, just pin your ears back and go in attack mode. Bodenstein takes the snap. He hands it off. Running back was hit in the end zone, but he did a good job of surging out of there and got up to the 3-yard line.
It was kind of a run blitz. That's one where you come and fill the gaps.
So clear your schedule for next week. Van Buren hosting a playoff game. I didn't get with Athletic Director Cohn to find out when the last time we did that was. I wish I would have. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's a special environment. Quick screen from Bodenstein out to number 10. That's Weston Huckabee. He's making people miss, and he got out across the 10 and got up to about the 13.
Good job by Blaine Pruitt, because if Blaine doesn't make that play and at least slow him up, he's got pretty much nothing behind Blaine. Blaine was the last guy that really had a shot at him, and he did a good job slowing him up, and then they got him on the ground.
That gave him the 14, so Huckabee got a fresh set of downs for Shiloh Christian. Greenwood has taken total control against Mountain Home. They lead 42-10, so they will win the 6A West. Shiloh will finish second. Mountain Home third, and Van Buren fourth. Good team defense there to bring the runner down in the backfield.
Good job. Good job in pursuit. Just a good gang tackling.
I think I see Hayden Elliott was in on that.
Yep, he sure was.
Loss of 2 on that play, back to the 12-yard line. So second down and 12.
Let's just keep the ball
13.
Inside the 15-yard line. Just keep playing the rest of the game down there.
Well, everybody starts 0-0, and everybody's going to be trying to figure out how do we solve the puzzle that is Greenwood football. They're just really good.
Yeah, they really are. And that's just been their MO. That's who they are. That's who they've been for the last 8-10 years?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
42-10 against Mountain Home at Mountain Home. I mean, that's Mountain Home and Shiloh Christian are as good as anybody they're going to play in the playoffs, and they dismantled Mountain Home, and they took care of Shiloh by 11. But that was they were missing 3 key elements that night. So,
and we don't know what they have coming up either. I mean, they do a good job in Greenwood. We'll give them that. But again, I don't know that there's another Kane Archer coming up next year, and that's not to say that Coatney, who is at least is their backup right now. We don't know that he's going to be the starter next year, but who knows?
It's interesting with Kane Archer. If he's not in the picture, we're gushing statewide over Cole Creighton. This guy's work has been overshadowed because he's playing at the same time as what is truly probably a generational quarterback, and Cole Creighton is an elite quarterback.
Yeah. Did we hear about any offers he's gotten from anybody?
The broadcasting team said he doesn't have any yet as a junior. I don't know if that's because he's undersized. He is 5'11", so
Yeah.
he's kind of small for a
Right.
college quarterback.
But there's a possibility he could also – I mean, there's a lot of kids that have grown between their junior and senior year. I've known kids that have grown between their senior year and freshman year in college.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll get looks before it's all said and done. He's certainly worth looking into. But I tell you what else I'm excited about, another year of Hayden Williford. A whole off season to
A lot
put
of
on
growth.
some weight
Yeah.
and just continue to digest film. And now he gets to go to the playoffs again as Bodenstein releases a deep ball and just slightly overthrew his target, Tate Bernard. 4th and 13 for Shiloh with 3 minutes to play.
Yeah.
There's just no telling what Hayden's going to look like next year.
Well, again, you look at a kid that puts on some size, watches some tape. The amount that he improved from last year to this year is really impressive. I think that there's nothing but up from here, especially for Hayden Williford and for Hayden Christenberry. You've got the tandem in the backfield that really brings a lot of promise back for their senior year.
Yeah. And you do have, you're losing Austin Riggs and Teray Wilford, so we're not going to pretend that's not a big deal.
Well,
but you've
heck
got
no.
a good
No.
core of receivers coming up. You've seen what Abe Cohn can do.
Right.
We haven't gotten to see Kingsley Cook do much this year, but big expectations of him. Who knows if you can't get Cannon Russell on the field as a quarterback, you got to get him on the field somewhere, and
Yeah.
it looks like they're going to do that at wideout. So
Yeah.
next year's looking good, but this team still has 2025 playoff football to play.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But it's also nice to look at what the cupboard looks like going into next year with a young football team.
And the continuity that we haven't had in over 2 decades of a coaching staff starting their 5th year.
Yeah, we made a point of that last week, just saying that something that the Van Buren program hasn't had in a very long time is consistency and continuity.
I got a message after last week's game from the father of former Pointer basketball player Ty Cobley. Buck Cobley was just talking about what a great man Mo Henry is, on top of being a good football coach. And he's 100% confident that they're going to build this thing and keep building it and keep making it better, and I couldn't agree with him more.
Yeah, I'm so glad that there are people that we talk to out in the community that talk to us about the program because of what we do with it, that see that recognize what's going on and what's important.
So Van Buren will come back on offense with about 50 seconds to play. Tristan Ray looks right, throws over the middle, and he's going to throw a pick to number 33. That's Blake Williams for the Saints, and I don't know, hopefully this play clock doesn't start, and this game will come to an end with that.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Be it.
Hopefully the play clock operator has a little amnesia and doesn't hit that button until about 4 seconds from now.
Yeah, well, that'll be up to the official, and he
There
will
we go.
not let that go.
So that's going to do it. These two teams will line up at the 50. Congratulations to the Shiloh Christian Saints for a really good season. They'll finish 6-1 in the 6A West and take second place, and they'll get a bye next week. Congratulations to these Pointers on a fantastic regular season that exceeded our expectations. They will host a playoff game at Blakemore Field next week at 7 o'clock, and I'm telling you what, Pointer fans, you need to be there in droves.
Yes,
I know
come
you love
support the
listening
Pointers.
in the climate control of your house, but there's nothing quite like being at the ball game and what that means to these young men.
That's right. We hope it's a full house next week. Come out and support the Pointers.
So on behalf of Lindsey Cottrell, Stephen Copeland, who managed the camera tonight up in the cold and always does, Austin Myers spotting for us, and my broadcast partner, Tim Malone, I'm Jay Baker. This is Pointer Media, and we will see you next week.